Hi, my name is Frank Schaefer. I'm an author and painter and commentator. And as we moved into the new year, I don't think it was coincidental that close to 1 million federal government workers were struggling to get through Christmas and the holiday season because of the uncompassionate, elitist, ridiculous behavior of Trump, who launched a political stunt similar to the one he launched before the midterm elections, when he talked about this caravan that was going to invade us and sent soldiers to spend Thanksgiving in tents on the border, and then pulled them all back having accomplished nothing, just as a political stunt to try to feed red, xenophobic, racist meat to his all-white, evangelical, Jesus-hating base and keep them in line. Now he has launched an attack on federal workers as a stunt to try to get his wall built. Not that he cares about that, but he's scared of people like Ann Coulter and Rush Limbaugh and Fox News. He is a lick-spittle sycophant to their television and radio personalities in the same way that the entire Republican Party has become a lick-spittle enabler of Trump. So we go into 2019 in deep trouble. Yes, the midterms were a victory of sorts. But as long as this cancer, called Trump, is metastasizing in the body politic, we are all in danger. Our country is in danger. The world knows this as it loses confidence in our economic system, reflected in the tumble in the stock market. The world knows this as we prop up other oligarchs and tyrants like the Saudi Arabian prince who had Khashoggi murdered and Vladimir Putin, friend of Donald Trump, and so forth. As we look forward into this year, our job is clear. We have to keep resisting this evil man and this evil political party that used to be called the Republican Party and is now simply Trump's enabling servant. It's not a coincidence that he has attacked federal workers. The Republican Party has always hated our federal government while serving within it. They have hated the idea of a welfare state, of caring for people. They gave a tax cut to billionaires and say that they will pay for the deficit later if they can get total control of our government by cutting Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. They've always wanted to do this. Donald Trump is the inhuman face of a party that doesn't care about ordinary working Americans and does care only about its billionaire-class donors. They are paid and hired guns for the American super rich, and that is the only people they serve. Donald Trump talked about serving ordinary Americans, and yet he's put the ordinary kind of Americans, contractors who work for the government and others, out of business, scrambling to pay their mortgages and tuition fees for their children. And all the people that depend on them, from little coffee shops down the road, mom and pop businesses that depend on government workers for their income. You know, every time I talk to people at the Social Security Administration on the phone or Medicare, every time I've talked to my friends at the post office, every time I talk to the civil servants and others who work in our federal government, I wish that any of them, any that you could choose at random off the street, were the President of the United States instead of this phony, this con artist, because any decent, ordinary, working American would be better to have in charge right now than this man. So we go into 2019, at least for me, renewing my vow that I will resist him with all my power for the sake of my children and grandchildren. That 2019 will lay the stage for throwing this man out of office in 2020. And that we will fight hard for ordinary Americans of the kind who work for the federal government that are being sacrificed on the altar of a political stunt by this pig. Thank you. My name is Frank Schaefer.